Lisbon has more culture on the street these days. Tell a Story is a bookstore in a van, taking translated Portuguese author books to the tourists. It is culture on wheels.
Tell a Story, it's more than a business, it's a dream that was thought of by three people, three partners, three friends from high school, Domingos, Francisco and myself. And a couple of years ago we came up with the idea to share Portuguese culture in the form of his literature to all the people that were starting to visit us more and more. So that was our dream, to share our culture in the form of books, in the form of stories that were thought of by many great Portuguese authors throughout the time. That was, I think, our main goal. I think this business was built on the need, more than a need, was built on a wish to share our Portuguese culture. We believe that we have really good stories, really good books, really good authors that unfortunately weren't as known as they could be. For instance, if you go to Prague, Kafka is all around. If you go to other cities, there are some authors, some writers that are connected to this city. In Lisbon, Portugal and Lisbon in particular, didn't have that connection so well established. So that was one of the needs that we saw and that we thought of. Actually, the van wasn't our first idea. The idea came up as a bookshop, but then we started to think that a van probably would be good because we could be near our public. It was the tourists. So with the van we could go and meet them and not just be still and hoping for them to come to us. So that was the main idea behind the van. We don't always have the same amount of titles. We now have about 50, 60 different references. And languages, we have the main languages. We have English, of course, French, German, Italian, Spanish, and that's it. I think for now we have these are the languages that we have. We started as a bookshop. That was the first step in building this idea to share Portuguese literature. And then that was 1 year ago, and now 6 months ago we started editing our own books, and also that as we went in the business of distributing Portuguese books in different languages, we needed books that weren't available, and so we came up with some titles. We have two different kinds of books. We have one that are classics, Fernando Pessoa. We added two books from Fernando Pessoa, and we also want to be able to publish young Portuguese authors